Hello everyone, I am Darkness and welcome back to Resident Evil 2. We're actually going to be doing something, a bit of a guide here for those that actually want to get through the B scenarios, the second runs of both Leon and Claire. We're going to get the guide up here. We've already had the guide for the Everyman's Guide for getting through Leon and Claire A. Now we're finally getting to the B run, so thank you so much for joining. If this is your first time, I've done guides for getting through the main game, for getting Hardcore S+. Now we're getting through the second run, which means if you've already followed my guide, or you've already gotten Hardcore S+ on your own, you've already gotten everything there is to unlock. Now you're just trying to complete records, now you're just enjoying the game you bought, and you really want to just like beat it into the ground and like accomplish everything. And if that's the case, more power to you. I'm glad you're still enjoying the game, so we're going to see how we get through this here. I call it the Everyman Guide because I'm just an everyman. I'm not a speedrunner. This isn't like something... The only difference between you and I is that I'm still that old school gamer right now that takes notes. So I have my giant notebook that everyone now probably knows about that's seen the original guides. And this giant notebook is just me taking notes through the game so I could get better. I've never watched anyone else play this game, and I don't use anyone else's tactics. So if there's anything you need to insert because you don't like the way I do it, more power to you. But I, to this day, still haven't seen anyone else play it. So it's all just my notes, how I go about it. So let's have a quick word about what getting Hardcore S+ entails, so there's no confusion about it. Getting Hardcore S+, to get that plus, you must get it in the S time limit in the first place. So the S time limit for the B runs is 2 hours, not 2 hours 30 minutes. I'm going to give you 15 minutes leeway, and we're going to finish this game, and you're going to be surprised that I'm going to probably nail it right at an hour 45 minutes. I've done this enough times that it's just how I go if I'm talking at the same time as I'm playing. You can do it probably about 10 minutes faster than that if you're not talking, and if you're lagging behind a bit, you've got 15 minutes to play with, so it's cool. You don't have to, you know, nail it on your first try. You can try the guide out, see how you're doing, and then if you have to do a second or third time, it's cool. It's fine. It's a game. You want to play it. But just make sure you stay calm because we're going to get through it. The other part of getting S+ is that you can only save it 3 times and you can't use infinite weapons. So we're going to have 3 very strategic places we're going to save it and no pulling out your infinite weapons. Now, the infinite knife. I have it. I could use it. Capcom hasn't gotten rid of it yet. But I'm going to assume also that you didn't want to go find all 50 Mr. Raccoon statues and that you're playing this hoping that you've got a guide that you can just pick up where you are right now and play it. So we're not going to touch the infinite knife. Don't care that it's there. I don't care about any techniques about you. No. I care that maybe you don't have it, and we'll find enough knives to get through it anyway. So one last thing, I'll put up on the screen right now in text what all you unlock if you've actually never gotten normal, hardcore, S rank ever. Much less Hardcore S+. If you've never gotten that, if you didn't follow my previous guides before, if this is the first time you're trying to get Hardcore S+, then if you were to beat the game on normal S, you get the Infinite Handgun Samurai Edge. Hardcore S gets you the Infinite SMG. For Leon, Hardcore S+ gets you the Infinite Rocket Launcher. For Claire, it would be the minigun. If you like got A, or if A rank is the best you've ever done, and then all of a sudden you bust out an S+ hardcore, you get all of it at the same time. You don't have to go replay normal and get S. It just gives it all to you. I hope that's clear because people asked that in the comments for the first video. So I think I've said everything. We'll talk about the differences as we go along here. And final thing, please, for me, ring that bell. Especially because I do a lot of live streams, I do a lot of other things. Resident Evil 2 is not my whole gaming life. I think my best accomplishments on the channel are games like The Last of Us, the way that I perceived it, Hellblade, some other games on there, you know, YouTube and their algorithm, they require that bell to be rung. So let's go ahead, we'll get into this. Everyman's Guide because I'm an everyman. I'm not a speedrunner. I just take notes. So if we mess up, I'm going to try to give you enough ammunition and enough healing items that you can mess up plenty. I'm going to try to give you enough grenades. I'm going to try to give you enough everything that if you have to deviate from what I'm doing, you're still fine. You're made in the shade. You don't have to worry about it. So let's keep your steez intact. Let's try to just get through this as calmly as possible. Because there's no need to get flustered. It's just a little practice. We'll get to know the game a little better. We'll learn a few extra things.
Hope you made it here.
One of the things that can be frustrating is that in the B runs, unlike the A, there is no way to make ammunition for the 1911. We'll be using the 1911 exclusively because it's about 1.5 to 1.75 times the power of the Matilda. So there's no point of upgrading the Matilda, especially since you can't find ammunition for the Matilda. And we're grabbing these two herbs as we start off. We're combining them, and we're going to go get the bolt cutters. So there's a real possibility some people run out of ammunition in the RPD. I will show you 2 stashes of ammo that people forget about between the A and the B scenarios, and 2 zombies that you do not have to take down that will hopefully help you conserve ammunition. But if you're having a problem with ammunition, hopefully you can just play it again, make sure you're landing all of your shots, and maybe you'll get some crits for days like I seem to be getting all the time. But we got this. Run to the right immediately. Run to the right. That zombie right there can tag you pretty fast. If you linger another half second from what I did, he's gonna grab you, and it's gonna be annoying. Because it's like, hey, here's the opening of the B run, and a zombie's munching your face. So, bolt cutters, we're gonna grab everything in the room and bank the Matilda and the red blue herb. Now we're gonna use this grenade. We're not gonna bank it. I'm sure that we could start up this game enough times to where we could weave through those zombies pretty well and save a grenade. We don't need to save the grenade. It just makes it a lot more simple, a lot less convoluted if we just go ahead and use it. So let's get rid of these 2 things. Let's use the 1911. 1 aim shot in the kneecap here. Usually he's a little further up on the steps, but he decided to come say hi. And we're gonna get as close as we can to the wall and throw this. Now if we get close enough that they tag me while I'm doing this, the grenade blows him off of me. You see that? I threw it a little high on purpose so he would come get me. If you get close enough to the wall, so you make sure that you stagger all of them, and a zombie ends up getting close enough to grab you, the grenade going off will get him off, so you don't have to worry about that too much. We're gonna get this board, we're gonna use it in the hallway very soon. We're gonna grab these rounds.
First day.
And we're going to come over here past Elliot. Hi Elliot, sorry about everything. Grab this knife, and we're gonna actually go ahead and use this one board right here. We're gonna use it right here. So, putting up a board, thinking toward the future. And we're gonna get a different board for the other hallway where the liquors are gonna be, and the clover key. So we got those shotgun shells, we're getting this blue herb, we're gonna clear out these lockers of the gunpowder and of the ammunition here. And we're getting the magnum ammunition because you are allowed to touch the book in this walkthrough. We are getting the magnum, so everyone can... Oh, I'm gonna touch the slate so we get that sweet, sweet save room music. So we're going to bank the shotgun rounds, the knife, the herb, the rounds for the magnum, and the gunpowder. We're going to be right back down to the handgun, the rounds for the handgun, and the bolt cutters, and now we get the fuse. So we're set to be able to get into the RPD now. Now, as we get past Elliot, just remember that you can always run past Elliot one way or the other. Sometimes he puts himself in the corner, sometimes he's in between the desk, like this, the desk and the bookcase. If this is the case for you, just stand to the side for a second. He'll turn one way or the other, and you run over his entrails. You see, you turn to the right, I ran left. So I don't get the first aid that is over there because I'll run out of inventory space. There's a first aid in that bathroom, but I do get these rounds. People tend to forget about these rounds being here. So we're gonna grab these rounds and the rounds in the other closet. So these rounds hopefully will help you get through this, the B side of this run. So you don't run out of things. And we're going to get the board that's in here because we're going to board up a window very soon. Now, we had to let a zombie come through the window, and sometimes he shows up in the hallway right here. Be very careful if he's not in the hallway because he might be very close to you. And we got to kneecap him. It's the cost of getting the rounds. So, we're going to use the bolt cutters, get through. Hopefully he doesn't barge through. Because we got those rounds and that board there, the other zombies are kind of in a different spot than you might be used to. So, you see that zomboid right there? We're gonna have to kneecap him. If he's so close to this office right here that he's coming at you in the office, wait for him in the office. So what I mean by that is that if he is not at the door like he was for me right there, if he's actually still wandering around, get the valve and the gunpowder in the office, then wait near the gunpowder, let him come into the office and kneecap him, then run out of the office. Got it? Got it. So that's the way to get around him. If you get tagged here, feel free to use the first aid that is going to be right inside the RPD right here. You can use the first aid here. It's fine. yeah, we don't have to worry about that too much. So we're gonna kill this zomboid, and we're gonna kill Marvin. Poor Marvin. And I got crits for days, and that's all right. I'll take it.
Hello?
If you don't, hopefully we'll be fine. There's the first aid that you could get if you got tagged trying to get out of there. And Marvin, hey there, man. I'm gonna back away from him so he doesn't randomly get me. We're gonna clear out these guys because the tyrant. We're gonna have to deal with the tyrant here. In this hall. Oh boy, my aim is off, isn't it? I got a crit and then I got bad aim. I guess it evens out, comes out in the wash, right? So he's not dead yet. 3 shots does not put down Martin. But that will... Crits for days, son. Crits for days. So, we're gonna kill all 3 of these. Because they can be a pain later. Now, don't get too close to her on the stairs. She'll lunge at you. But wherever she is, kill all 3. And you see I'm aiming, I'm lining these up. 4 shots or more. Not enough to kill her either, so... She is a bullet sponge. And she should be dead. Now, my only tried and true method of checking that is running over them. If she had grabbed me, I'd go back and use that first aid. But I hate putting more rounds into a zomboid when they're dead, so... yeah, she's dead now. My tried and true method of making sure that they're dead. I run over their body. I run over the body like a moron, so... I'm gonna run right by that first aid. We'll come back for them here very soon. Don't worry. And actually, you know what?
What in the...
If you want to go ahead and do something like grab this green herb, that's fine. We'll have enough space to be able to grab the green herb right now, and we'll put it in the box very soon. So we need to walk through this hallway. Why there's a licker in here? There's no way to make them despawn by running in and running out. That's what we can do when we have to come back into here for the clover key. We can make one despawn. But we need to board up this window right here so that we only have to deal with the lickers when we come back in through here for the clover key stuff. So we're going to walk this out. We have to walk to most of the hallway, to be honest, before we can run and risk the licker not getting us. So we're going to come and clear things out over here in a moment. See, I'm running now and it's fine. Handgun rounds right here. And bolt cutters used over here. Alright. We're gonna take out more zomboids because I'm trying to make it as easy peasy as possible. So we're going to grab this. We have a flash already, so we're gonna look like we're full up on inventory, but that's fine. I counted on that. So we unlock this door. We go to our left. We get the handgun rounds that are over here. These 2 cops need to die. Why do they need to die? You can just run past them. You can ignore them, but when they get active, they can show up in very weird places. Unlike a lot of the other zombies in this little area, they can show up practically anywhere. I mean practically anywhere, and it's very annoying. So to not put them down is just asking for a restart here. Nope. Get away from him. And the time it takes me to deal with this guy, if this zombie's still alive, he comes back up. If the I want donuts from vending machine zombie is still alive, he'll get back up in time. So you see, I'm wasting through ammunition having to deal with this, but it's fine. It's fine. And he was still alive. Look at that. It usually takes 4 shots to kill him. Yep.